I hope if you're dealing with this, you know that like this is so much more common than you think. Okay? First and foremost, please just understand this is a very common thing that fucking most guys will never talk about. But they'll fucking watch this video. Okay? So just sit with that for a second and understand that this is okay. You're fine. You're not fucking broken. Okay? This video is broken up into two parts. The first part was shot earlier today. The second part shot now, right outside of a Jack in the Box. Before I go get some food. So just keep that in mind. My name is Oliver Chase. I'm an NSFW content creator here in Los Angeles, California, and I'm going to talk about my journey with struggling with performance anxiety in intimate settings. So let's talk about this. The first thing that's really important in terms of for me to mention is that I know that this is something for me that I've dealt with so many times, and I'm going to talk about my journey with it. This is something I know that I've struggled with in terms of knowing that like, oh, if I'm by myself, I don't have issues with intimacy, like, and being able to have an erection and you know, do what I need to do with myself. But knowing that like, okay, this is something that I only struggle with other people, to be honest. Like, the first time this happened, this was maybe 2021, so about 4 or 5 years ago. I met this girl on Hinge. We were chatting. We decided to go to an after hours together, and she was absolutely stunning. She was a very, very, very beautiful girl. I felt like she was out of my league. I was like, this is definitely probably one of the most attractive women I've ever talked to in my life. And not only that, but when we met, we hit it off. Like she was really into me. I was like, holy shit, like I've struck gold is what it felt like. And the whole night was just perfect. Like I think I was drinking a little bit. Excuse me, she was drinking a little bit. I don't really do anything else. I really just drink and vape. This was when I was doing that shit 4 years ago, 5 years ago. She decided to do a little Molly, so then she started really feeling good. And I don't know, like the energy was just really, really good. We had such a deep conversation. Like we left the party together and we were already in downtown. We just chatted for like a really long time. We went to the Cecil Hotel and like literally like we're outside of it talking about like murders and all this stuff, and it just felt so nice. So obviously, like, you know, we get back in my car and I'm like, let's go back to my place, and I can feel something in me. I'm like holy shit, I'm about to like hook up with this girl. Like fuck, oh my fucking god. Redhead, long curly hair, beautiful like green eyes, perfect skin. She's like, oh my god, she's built really nice, tattoos. She also sings. She's just a fucking 10 out of 10. Like I would date her. I would fucking wife her up. I'm down bad. What can I say? We go back to my place, and I don't know if I'm gonna get like in trouble for saying some of this stuff, but I kind of want to talk about the actual experience itself, because I do think context is important. So this really honestly is like documentary. It's not, I'm not trying to fucking do some smut right now, but I do kind of want to talk about the actual sexual experience that I had, just a little bit. So we start by, I go down on her and really put in the work and absolutely perform. No anxiety there. Do my thing, and then I think I'm like in my boxers, and then we switch, and then she goes down on me, and I could just feel like, I could just feel myself. I was like, oh my god, like, like, I'm struggling. She's kind of doing her thing. She pulls my boxers down, and I'm not a shower. I'm a grower. So if it's not, you know, if I'm not at least semi-hard, it doesn't look big. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. So I say, I say I'm like, I'm sorry, like it does get bigger, because I'm like nervous now. Now I'm actually nervous, and she's like, it's okay, don't worry about it. So she kind of starts going down on me. We're not talking about it at all, and I do eventually get hard. We do end up having sex, and but it was like an awkward thing. Like I kind of snapped out of it, I guess, but after that we talked a little bit, not about that, but about just like getting to know each other better. She goes off. I end up maybe 2 weeks later, a week or two later, we end up seeing each other again, and we sit down, we have some wine, we have some food. I'm thinking, I don't know, she's asking me like, so like, what was that? And I'm also like, what was that too? Like, we're kind of like, I had never experienced it. And I was like, I don't know. I think I just feel like a lot with you. I just feel really overwhelmed with you, but like in a good way. And I just kind of like, I don't know, there's something there with you that I've never experienced before, and I really like you. And this is one time after meeting, by the way. And she's kind of like, oh, okay, well, like, and she wasn't like thrown off by it. She was like, oh, that's like super cute, like basically. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, maybe I need more time or something or whatever, blah blah blah. So this is hangout number 2, and we watch a movie, we talk for a long time, have a good time, and we get intimate again. Very similar to the first time. I go down on her, I make sure, take care of her, and then I'm already hard at this point. I kind of want to, I'm feeling that nervousness again. I kind of want to just like go straight to sex, but she goes down on me, and it happens again. I completely and totally like, and this time it's not just like I'm not hard, a minute or two goes by, and then I'm able to get hard. It's like, it just completely leaves. Like, erection has left the chat, and I'm like, ah, fuck me. Like, she's sitting here like going to town on a fucking pinky right now, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god. So eventually I'm just kind of like, I'm like, stop. Like, we talk more about it, I guess, back and forth. I'm like, I don't know, I'm just a little nervous. Like, this is, and like, I'm so fucking baffled by it. I'm like, probably like repeatedly saying like, this never happens, I swear to God, this is not something that happens to me ever. And she's just like, basically just like, I could tell she's kind of like, she's like, it's fine, but like, it's kind of like weird, like not weird, but like, this is not something she would want to have to deal with. And then I can feel that, so we kind of just like go and like lay down on the bed, and we're kind of cuddling. And after about 30 minutes to an hour, I guess I start to feel more comfortable or whatever. And yeah, I end up getting hard again. We end up having sex, and it goes well. We pass out. She gets up, goes to work. The third time I see her, we go get a massage together. We kind of like do this couples massage thing, go back to her place, talk about that a little more, and I could tell the vibe is just completely and totally off this last time. And it's interesting because this third time that I see her, I'm actually not having that problem at all. We're doing our thing, and she just was like, I don't want to go any further. And I'm like, that's fine, no problem. But like, I was like rock hard this time, and I could feel it. So the timing, energy, and everything like that was just not on, and that ended up not working out. But what ended up happening is that was the catalyst for this happening a few other times in my life. Not a million times, or not every single time since then. This is 4 or 5 years ago. The next time it happened was my first threesome experience with a girlfriend and a guy. And that was actually like the first adult experience I had with a man. So that was really an interesting thing, and I did enjoy it, kind of, but I was really nervous too. This was also around the time that I was realizing that I was like bisexual, or pan, or whatever you want to call it. And happened again. I couldn't get hard. that freaked me out. It made me feel uncomfortable, like, and it was only like a few months after the situation with the other person. Okay, so I had to take a break from the first part of filming that video, but I wanted to finish it, so here we are. Okay. Threesome experience with another guy and my girlfriend. I was not ready for that. I pushed myself past the breaking point. Should not have done it. It was no one's fault. It was my fault only. I mean, it wasn't even my fault. What am I talking about? God forbid a man fuck a man and a woman. Am I right? Anyways. So, now I lost my train of thought. I did that. Also had performance anxiety during that experience. And, this wasn't like a recurring problem. I was very understanding that, like, I couldn't do that in that situation. Does that make sense? So, fast forward now. I don't know the next time it happened, honestly. It was maybe like at a sex party, or I guess it was another threesome I did when I was doing sex work with my partner about 3 or 4 years ago, when we were doing, you know, sex work and stuff together. So her and I did porn for like 1.5 years together, and during that time we did everything under the sun, essentially, in the sex work space and in the porn space. We did content together. She did solo content. We had threesomes. We did foursomes. We did MMF. We did group. We did, you know, MFF, like everything under the sun. And like, I had performance anxiety and then kind of got put onto Viagra, so that kind of stopped being a problem. But I went to sex parties for the first time and couldn't get hard there. And I didn't even know this, but like everyone at a sex party is like on Viagra. Go figure. I didn't know that. Mostly almost any guy is on Viagra, as well as like on some kind of like drug or drinking. I wasn't sober at this time, but I didn't know everyone was on fucking Viagra the first time I went to a sex party. So I'm like one of the only guys who can't get a fucking erection. And here I am trying to understand something wrong with me. The second time I went to a sex party, I was like, yeah, man, I'm like struggling to get hard. I don't know what the problem is. And like this guy looks at me and he's like, well, do you need Viagra? And I was like, no, I don't need that. And he was like, dude, look around. And I was like, what? He's like, every fucking guy here is on Viagra right now. And like, they're like my age, maybe even some of them are younger, some of them are older. But it's a kind of like a, you know, people are definitely using Viagra at sex parties. Duh. But I didn't know this because I'm green at this time. And just a little bit of a rewind, this couple that I saw with my, you know, girlfriend at the time, they were the ones that introduced us, me and her, into the sex space. We had an experience together, us four, and again, I couldn't get hard. Again, and I wasn't doing Viagra yet. I didn't know anything about it. So like this thing's going on in my head for like who knows how long. The whole time, right? I start taking Viagra during shoots and stuff here and there. You know, not every time, but like definitely I was using it because there was a lot going on in the shooting process for me. Like I wasn't just a stunt dick. I was also shooting, editing, publishing content, putting it everywhere, finding new ways to make money, handling the business, handling the finances. She was like the face. I was everything else. So like, yeah, like I didn't want having to fucking get and maintain an erection to be a problem. So I started taking Viagra. And like, this is just every like male sex worker story ever. Like you start taking Viagra, it's a shoot. I actually reached a breaking point where I stopped shooting and I had my partner shooting with other people because I was like, I can't do all of this. One of these has to go. That's the most easily replaced thing. So And we're like open, and we had done all kinds of shit. So like, yeah, I was a little jealous the first time that she shot with someone in front of me. But like, I got over that pretty quickly, because I was like, first of all, this is a professional environment. And also, if I kind of work through some of this is kind of hot. Like in a hot wife way, not in like a degrading, like cuck way. No disrespect to the cuck community. Like I respect it. That's not my thing at all. Hot wifing is fun. I do like watching someone that I love having sex with other people, guys and girls. Doesn't make a difference to me. But like in a not humiliating way, because that's just not my vibe. So I've had a performance anxiety in a solo experience with the girl. I've had a performance anxiety with, group stuff in a threesome setting. I've had performance anxiety during a shoot. I've had performance anxiety with group sex. I've had performance anxiety at sex parties at this point. Like, this is something that had happened enough times that I was like a little concerned, like a little like, is there something wrong with me? Like, this is before I had a good understanding of what this was. So there was a lot of that. I was like, maybe I'm just like broken. Maybe there's something wrong with my brain. Maybe there's something wrong with my mind, and I need help or therapy or something. I get out of that relationship, and I try to start doing solo creating and solo content and getting into that space. And I just like tried shooting with other people and just couldn't get hard. I just couldn't do it. Even with Viagra, I couldn't get an erection. I didn't feel safe in that environment of like shooting with someone I don't really know that well. It just was kind of fucking a bitch. Like I didn't like it. It was I don't mean I was fucking a bitch as a woman. I'm saying it was a bitch dealing with that. Like it was a bitch having to deal with that stress and anxiety that kept coming up for me. Well, fast forward, right? From then until basically a year ago now, I've had a plethora of sexual experiences, and it is something that would like come up every now and then, and I would feel myself, like, okay, I'm a little nervous or something, and it would happen once or twice, and I kind of just started accepting it more, like, okay, maybe I just like don't like this person, or maybe I just wasn't in the mood, or but it was never like the feeling of like, oh my god, I need help because I don't have libido and I can't get hard on my own or whatever. And fast forward now to the last, I don't know, few months after being out of this, basically month and a half, I guess, after being out of this relationship with my most recent ex. I have experienced performance anxiety now a few different times, with people, people that I've hooked up with and seen. Sometimes I am able to get hard, other times I'm not. It's happened like actually more than it has not happened. Like it's happened like 4 or 5 times, and I've seen maybe 6 or 7 people. I'm not counting, but it's happened more than it hasn't, for sure. Even with someone that I have been seeing kind of more consistently, it's been happening. So what I'm trying to understand here is, because I'm not coming at this with like the end all be all answer. I think the point of this video for me is to talk about it and say, hey, I've actually learned that I have had some success with this and overcoming this. And what I've learned so far, and I'll have an update on this too. I'm saying all this and I'm telling you this story because I want you to know that like, I'm in the middle of this. I experienced this much more consistently in the last month and a half since being out of this last relationship. And I have no issues with an erection by myself. I can fucking get as hard as I need to and please myself as many times as I need to solo dolo with just me. Okay? So What's the problem? This is the question I'm asking. This is the question I'm trying to figure out. What is the problem? Do I not feel safe? Do I not like the person? Am I tired? Am I nervous? I don't know if that was the first thing I said. Am I in my head? Am I thinking about the wrong thing? Where's the cutoff? What's happening? What I started doing is actually just talking straight up about it when it's happening. Just being like, hey, sorry, like, just so you know, this isn't you. I'm just kind of struggling with some performance anxiety right now. Like, I struggle getting hard. And it has to do with feeling safe. Like, safety is important for me. I think that is the crux here for me. Safety. Feeling safe. I'm a very emotional person. I have bipolar depression. I struggle with interpersonal relationships, and that is transferred into my sexual life, my sexual relationships, if you will. And what I've realized, what's helped with that, is slowing down a sexual experience significantly. And if I'm having performance anxiety, I think one of the biggest solutions for me right now could be two different things. Focusing more on her, or him, or them. I see women most of the time. I'll be honest. I like to suck a little dick. But for the most part, I'm into women. So got distracted. I need to, what's in my best interest when I start to feel a little overwhelmed is to slow down and really focus on being present and not rushing into intimacy. Because what I've learned is that when I really take my time and slow things down, I don't really have that problem as much. So my solution right now, and I'm sure I'll probably find a better way to work through this, is one, be able to sit with this more. Like, accept it. 5 years ago, this was fucking me up. I mean, it wasn't like ruining my life, but when it would come up, when it would happen, I would be very upset about it. Now I'm kind of excited in a weird way because, like, I enjoy the idea of being, like, in a specific sexual space. Does that make sense? I'm kind of enjoying the idea of, like, having a little problem, you know? Like, it's not the worst thing in the world for me right now to feel like I have something that needs to be, like, worked through. Does that make sense? That's not enough light. Does that make sense? It's felt pretty good to have an issue that I can kind of work through sexually. I've never, pretty much for the exception of like a few times, I've never really had that problem. Never even thought about it. But it's kind of an interesting development and something that has been on the forefront of my mind now. And I like the fact that I'm able to kind of use it as an opportunity to be more intimate with people when I see them. And if I experience it, it's been nice to just sit with it, talk about it, and then honestly just focus more on them. And if I can get an erection, cool. If I can't, there's Viagra. Don't have sex. Let it be about the woman for once. Am I right, guys? Shit. Like, be a giver. What happened to being a giver? So, that's where I'm at. I might have an update on this video with more actual, like, real research and studies, and, like, maybe I'll see a sex therapist even, or I'll sit down and with a few other people who are also have experienced the same thing. feel free in the comments to talk about this if you'd like, because, you know, this is a serious problem that people don't talk about enough. And I think it's important for us to fucking like get real with ourselves. So yeah, I hope if you're dealing with this, you know that like this is so much more common than you think. Okay? First and foremost, please just understand this is a very common thing that fucking most guys will never talk about. But they'll fucking watch this video. Okay? So just sit with that for a second and understand that this is okay. You're fine. You're not fucking broken. Okay? Take your time. Work through it. Be present. Maybe take some time away from sex. Or work through it with sex, but be honest if you're struggling with it. You know? It's okay. You're fine. I'm fine. So let's have an honest conversation and work through it, okay? If this video helped you, let me know. If you have any other ideas, let me know. I'd love to make other kinds of videos like this. Bye for now.